Hey, Pin Dude here, and welcome back to my vintage pinball. Today we're just hanging out in the garage, watching paint dry. Literally, I'm watching paint dry. I'm painting some last few pieces I have for the cabinet of Rollergames. Painting them tonight, and I'm waiting on the paint to dry so that I can flip them over and paint the other side, so that hopefully tomorrow I can reassemble these last pieces. There'll be another Rollergames video coming up real shortly because this cabinet's almost done and we're almost ready to get that playfield out of there. But tonight, it's Saturday night. I just got home from work, just hanging out. Thought I would do just a workshop tool update. This is August of 2018. Going to go through some tools that I've bought recently, and then some other tools that I've had but maybe I haven't mentioned yet on the channel. So that's what we're going to do right now while I continue to watch this paint dry. So let's get started. Alright, so not a lot has changed in the workshop since the last time I kind of showed some updates. But I have been doing a lot of work on Rollergames. Here's the parts I'm painting tonight. Just waiting on them to dry so I can flip them. But after working, I'm making sure at the end of the session of working on a Rollergames part or assembly, I'm making sure I'm cleaning the shop up. So I've been doing a good job of keeping this space nice and neat. And I'll give you a little sneak peek here. Rollergames, been working on the insert panel. Had to add the holes for the 15 flashers we're going to be adding. I know it looks like Swiss cheese, but that's all done and painted. You'll be seeing that coming up on part 6, I believe it is, of Rollergames, coming up real soon. I've also been making a list of parts to acquire for the 1977 Stern Stingray that I picked up at Allentown. If you haven't seen that video of the Stingray that I picked up, make sure to check that out on my channel. There's going to be a video coming up on that soon. We're going to be going through the electronics of that game and finally getting to power that game up pretty shortly, hopefully in a matter of just a couple weeks. But right now we're going to head over here to the workbench and we're going to talk some pinball tools. Alright, so I've been on a little bit of a screwdriver kick lately. Been buying quite a lot of hand screwdrivers. Let me show you why I have all these yellow and black Stanley screwdrivers. So this particular screwdriver is a 6-in-1 Stanley screwdriver. I think it's like $7 or something on Amazon. You can also find these at Walmart. I bought this one after watching a couple months back a Pinball Workshop video on YouTube. Pinball Workshop, if you're not subscribed to his channel, go check him out. He does some great Pinball Workshop videos. He did a spotlight on this screwdriver, and it looked really cool, so I bought it. And it is a really neat screwdriver. So what makes it 6-in-1? Well, you got 2 screwdriver bits. On the other side, you have 2 flathead bits. And then this is a socket. I'm not exactly sure what size. And then this is a socket. I believe this is a 1/4 inch. They actually don't mark it on here. But there's your 6-in-1. 2 flats, 2 Phillips heads, and 2 sockets. And this piece just clicks in to the base here, and it's really, really nice. Now what also makes this screwdriver really nice is I always have a hard time putting this back together for some reason. I don't know why. Oh yeah, there you go. You got to line the ball up with the notch. This screwdriver is heavy, and I never thought the weight would make a difference, but it does. The weight, not only does it feel good in your hands, it just helps, it seems, to put the screws in. The extra weight of it and this extra thick grip. I've always been just a regular screwdriver guy, a Craftsman screwdriver guy. Probably had this Phillips screwdriver from Craftsman. I probably had this thing for 25 years. And not a thick grip, no weight to it, and the bits just aren't all that great. They don't fit on the screws all that good. Where these bits that come with the Stanley screwdriver, these things are amazing. So definitely recommend one of these screwdrivers. So this is the big guy, the big 6-in-1. So then I was at a Walmart picking up some pet supplies, and I saw this one on the shelf. This is, I'm not sure what it's called. It's a Stanley fiberglass screwdriver. This handle here is made of fiberglass. It's super light, unlike this one that's super heavy. This one's super light, and the bits store in the handle here, which I thought was really neat. So, you know, it comes with 2 flats and 2 Phillips. Obviously, that's a little repetitive if you already have this screwdriver, but you can take your tamper-proof sockets, which these are the Harbor Freight tamper-proof sockets. So I somehow lost one already, too. And since we use a lot of tamper-proof sockets with Pinball, you could set this up with your tamper-proof sockets, and maybe put some Allen heads or something as spares in here instead of having your Phillips and flats. It feels really good in your hand, even though it's got a much smaller grip than this one. You would use this more for lighter duty work, and man, I'm telling you, it's just really nice. So then I was on Amazon looking for some probably tools or pinball stuff, and I ran across this, which looks like a pen, but it is a screwdriver. It's got this little itty bitty flip bit. This is a Phillips on one end, a tiny Phillips, maybe a number 1, and a tiny flathead. The housing is made of plastic, and it's got the little clip so you can put this, you know, in your pocket or whatever. And then you open the cap here, and there's another screwdriver, a smaller Phillips bit, and an even smaller flat blade. So this is great for you know, a lot of playfield work and other small electronic screws, you know, on circuit boards and stuff. So another great screwdriver, and I believe this was I don't know, maybe $4 or $5. So definitely I have become a big fan of the Stanley multi-bit screwdrivers. So definitely check these out. There's some other ones too. There's a ratcheting one. I'm probably going to pick that one up next. All right, let's move on. All right, so here I ordered another tool from China. It took about 2 weeks to get here. I got it off eBay. And let's open this up. I haven't actually opened this yet. This is one of those electronic component testers. I think I paid $9 for it. And if you watch a lot of, not even specifically pinball channels, but electronics, people that kind of make their own electronics equipment, you'll see a lot of people using these. So it's an electronic component tester. It has an LCD screen, a push button here, and a ZIF socket. It's just a pretty simple circuit board with a mixture of through-hole components and SMD components. And it runs off a 9-volt battery. So you take your component, put it in the ZIF socket, push the button, and it'll supposedly tell you what part you put in here and if it's any good. So, does it work? Well, we're going to find out right now. Alright, so we have our electronic component tester from China. I have a brand new 9-volt battery from the supermarket, probably. No name brand. I'm going to plug this in. Alright, it works. Alright, so I don't know. I have this resistor that I found on my workbench here. I don't know what the heck it is. Let's see if we can get this in there. And see if it can tell me what it is. Alright, came up, it's a resistor, and it's 4,773 ohms. So let's try a transistor. I have a tip 122 transistor here. Alright, so we'll put this in here and clamp it down and push the button. And it came up as a transistor, and it tells you what each leg goes to, so that's good. And since I already have it out, I also have a tip 102 here. If I can get it out of the package. Alright, tip 102, we'll put that in there. Push the button, test in, and it comes up. Oh, hit the button again. And it comes up, tells you what the legs are. So, and 1, 2, 3, I also forgot to note, it's the board's labeled 1, 2, 3, so the 1, 2, 3 corresponds. So you can actually, you know, I can definitely see where it would come in helpful, this little tool. And for $9, I figured just another tool to have in the toolbox. I think it's pretty neat, and I can definitely see where this will come in helpful down the road. Once again, got this on eBay. I paid $9 for it. It's just called like an electrical component tester. So I had a new Harbor Freight open pretty close to my house. I used to have to drive an hour to get to my nearest Harbor Freight. Now I have one like 25 minutes away. Just opened a couple weeks ago. So I love these little assortments in the plastic cases that they sell. These are stainless steel machine screws. These are stainless steel wood screws. You know, stainless steel screws are great to use on pinball machines. They don't corrode, they don't rust. These are cheap. Also got some heat shrink assortment. I had one before, but I like that this one has some different colors in it. Always nice to try to match your shrink tubing to your wire color. And then, of course, I was running low on terminal pins. These are probably not the best terminal pins in the world to use, considering they're from Harbor Freight and they're China. But there's a whole heck of a lot in here. 520 pieces for, I don't know, it was a couple bucks, a few bucks. Well worth getting these. And also, the other tool that I bought, used my Harbor Freight 20% off coupon for this. Been wanting one of these kind of little gun type electric screwdrivers for a while. But most of the brands like Black & Decker and some of the other brands are $20 and up. So this is this Harbor Freight. It's the Drillmaster 4.8 volt cordless screwdriver. It's $9.99. I used the 20% off coupon, so I don't know, would that bring that to high $7 or something. Quite the bargain. It comes with a plug that you plug in the wall to charge it. It plugs in right there. It's got a little light on it, which is kind of neat. And just it's not really a trigger. It's almost a rocker switch, up for reverse and down for forward, or vice versa. And the only thing I don't like about it is if you have a flip bit, they didn't make it deep enough to use a flip bit. You can only use your standard you know, size bit in it. So that would be the only downside that I have of this. But for, you know, $8 or under $8, whatever it ended up costing me, I've been using it quite a bit, and it's quite powerful. I haven't had to charge it yet, but I'm really happy with it. Typically, if you see my spotlight before, this is the type of power screwdriver that I use. This I use on playfields, and I like this because it's not very powerful, so it's very hard to strip or break something on the playfield with this. But I wanted this for like cabinet work. I wouldn't use this on the playfield just because it's got too much power for my liking for a playfield. But doing cabinet work or other various projects around the house, it's a great little tool, and it seems to be built pretty good. Unlike a lot of Harbor Freight tools, this one actually seems like it's going to last. So I definitely can recommend this little guy. I'm real happy with it so far. Alright, let's see what else we got. Alright, so I picked this up since I knew I was going to be doing all the board work on Rollergames a couple weeks ago. This is a chip leg straightener. I saw this also on a Pinball Workshop on YouTube on one of his tool specials he did. What this is, if you pull a chip out and you didn't pull it out very good and maybe you bent the pins are a little fanned out, you put it in this tool and you kind of squeeze the tool together, and it straightens those legs out so that you can plug it back into the socket. I used it quite a bit when I was working on Rollergames, and it works really good. It's a lot better than sitting there with like needle nose pliers trying to straighten these pins out. So I definitely recommend this. I got it on Amazon. I think it was like $7 or something. And there's two sides. There's this side for like the narrow chip like this, and then if you have like a bigger, 40-pin chip, it'll go on this side of the tool. And it's spring-loaded. It's like one of those stress reliever things. It's a real simple tool, but it works real good. I'm real happy with it. So definitely, if you don't have one of these, I definitely recommend picking one of these up. Alright, so this tool, I've had this for quite a while, but I used it quite a bit when I was working on the Rollergames circuit boards the other day. It's called a PLCC extractor. It's basically a ROM chip extractor. I've had a couple different versions of these over the years, but this particular one is really good. I really like this one. I think I got it on Amazon. If you just search, I don't know, chip puller, you'll come up with a bunch of different versions. This one's really nice though. It's plastic on the outside, and it's got these little metal tangs that are going to grab the chip to pull it. So it's a nice firm grip there, and then it's like spring-loaded from the plastic handles. It feels really good. Usually a lot of people will just use a screwdriver. It's okay. I typically end up, tweaking a leg a little bit when I use a screwdriver. I mean, it works, but this works a lot better. I really like this. You grab onto the chip with the little tangs on the end, and then when you squeeze it, it pushes down on top of the chip, kind of locks it together, and then you kind of just pull it straight up, and the chip comes out, pretty much perfect every time. I haven't bent a leg on a chip since I've been using this tool. Works really good. So once again, that was it's called the PLCC extractor. High 100% quality. I don't remember what it costs. It can't cost much, but search it out. If you don't have one of these, you're still using a screwdriver, definitely spend a few bucks, pick this up. I think you'll really like it. Another tool I used quite a bit when I was doing the Rollergames circuit boards is a fiberglass pen. To clean, the pins and stuff on the chips. Fiberglass pen, very useful to have if you don't have one. I couldn't find the handle. I had some of the replacement fiberglass pieces, but I couldn't find a handle, so I bought one off Amazon. And this particular one, you'll see a bunch of this style on Amazon. I never had this style before, but I really like it. On the handle, you turn it, and it makes the fiberglass piece come out. And it uses just your regular fiberglass refills just go in here, so it's really easy to put a new one in. Works real good. I don't know, couldn't cost more than a couple bucks, but it works real good. Also finally bought a flux pen. I just been using like a little tube, a little tube of solder, and flux, and I just take my screwdriver and dab into it. But I really like the fiberglass, the flux pen. I really like the flux pen. It works real good. This is a SRA flux pen for rework. Got it on Amazon. Alright, I've had to remove a lot of staples lately on Rollergames, especially on that insert board that I'm working on. Had to remove a lot of staples holding the ground wire down. And in the past, I just used a little flat blade screwdriver. It works okay for getting the staples out, but it's a little too thick and you end up damaging the wood a little bit. So I was at Walmart looking at the tool section, wanted to buy a few things, and I saw this. It's called a tack remover. It looks like the back end of the hammer to remove nails, but the tips here, are really pointy, so it's really easy to get under the staple without damaging the wood and pop that staple out. I think I must have removed 100 plus staples this week on the insert board and stuff of Rollergames. Man, and this thing worked great. And I think, if I recall, this was $2.97 at Walmart. So glad I picked that up. Once again, it's called a tack remover. Definitely pick one of these up, because if you restore pinball cabinets, you know there's a lot of staples to remove. Alright, I also picked up this this week. For light duty cleaning and cleaning glass, I've always been using Windex. And as you know, Windex kind of stinks. It's kind of streaky. Not the greatest thing in the world. So I've known about this for a while. I just never bumped into it in the store. And it was always kind of expensive online. But I happened to be in Home Depot the other day picking up a furnace filter or something. And I happened to look in the cleaning aisle, and they had it. It's Zep ammonia-free glass cleaner. I've been seeing this recommended by pinball people for a long time. It's a concentrate. It makes up to 32 gallons. It costs, I think it was like $10.50 or something for this bottle. And you mix it with water. So I also picked up the Zep commercial professional sprayer, which is really nice, by the way. A little expensive. I think this sprayer was like $3.99, but man, it is so much nicer than the sprayers that you get at the dollar store, which is what I've been using in the past. So well worth the $3.99. So if you read the instructions, it says to dilute 1 ounce of this into 32 ounces of water. So this bottle is like 32 ounces. So you only need 1 ounce of this ammonia-free glass cleaner, and then I used distilled water in here, mixed it up, and been using this to clean all my pinball glass and any light duty cleaning. It works great. I also cleaned my sliding door in the back of my house. I've never been able to clean that like streak free before, and this stuff did a fabulous job. So once again, Home Depot, it was like $10.50, $3.99 for this Zep professional sprayer. Definitely, if you're still using Windex like I was, definitely switch over to this stuff. Alright, so that'll do it for this little August 2018 edition of the Pinball Workshop Tool Update. I just wanted to throw something together for this week to have a video to post. Go over some stuff that I either just bought or stuff that I've been using a lot this past couple weeks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Maybe one of the tools I showed you've been looking to get for yourself. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Feel free to leave a comment or a suggestion down below. A couple things coming up on the channel. Like I said, there'll be another Rollergames pinball restoration update coming up, probably another 2 weeks. Also, there'll be a Stingray 1977 Stern Stingray Part 1 of that restoration update, definitely coming up within a couple weeks, and I'm sure we'll have some other videos in between. So that'll do it for this week. I want to thank you for watching the My Vintage Pinball channel. This is Pin Dude from My Vintage Pinball. I will see you soon.